What is it, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video. We're here for what is a very soggy Brazilian Grand Prix. You can see we used the flashback. I'm not gonna lie to you, I'll be honest with you. Many of flashbacks we used here in qualifying. I was so far off the base. You can see 1.8 seconds going into this sector. I'm not a fan of this track in the dry, let alone the wet. And this was recorded at the point where the AI had an unfair advantage in the way. You can see we're how many seconds will we be off pole by? 3 seconds we're off pole by. 3.2 seconds now Verstappen came across the line. P20, Kvyat's actually gone faster. We've got a purple sector 1 and a green sector 2, which is great. We're currently a second up. You can see we just got no turning whatsoever. We're losing our advantage. We're come across the line. We're not going to be as far off, and 2.4 seconds, and surprise, surprise, that's going to put us in plumb last place, which is just fantastic. I just can't do this track. I hate it. I hate it with a passion, and I don't think I've done well in any of my races on this channel where I've gone around Brazil, so it is what it is. I can't stand it. Look at that. There's a Mercedes on pole. Lewis Hamilton almost 100 points clear in the drivers. That is absolutely insane when you think about it. Yeah, by this point Mercedes have wrapped up the constructors. I don't know when they wrapped it up, before obviously last video, I'm pretty sure anyway, but nonetheless it is absolutely insane how good Hamilton and Mercedes have been this episode. But we're going to do what we can from P20. Danny Kvyat's actually on pole, which is quite surprising. I assumed it probably would have been Hamilton, the only guy in the 1:09s. Hamilton P4 behind Verstappen and Vettel. We got Valtteri Bottas P5 ahead of Leclerc. Leclerc's struggling here at the back end of the season. Since Belgium, he has really been struggling. Ricciardo P10, so good qualifying from Renault. 13th, 14th for Williams, so obviously they're doing pretty well with their power unit. Weber in 16th, ourselves in 18th because we took a whole load of penalties. Just for the fact of we're last, what difference does it make? And we're not actually last, ironically, because Norris is the guy behind us as well as Magnussen. But we're ready for the miserable Grand Prix, waiting for the lights to go out, and we are underway. And inevitably, we're going to be last going into turn 1. 90, there we go. Yeah, wonderful, fantastic. I'm going to dive down the inside as best we can and try and not get taken by Magnussen or Norris. We're going to hop across the curb and have to give Magnussen some room, unfortunately. So we're going to lose some time out to Grosjean. As you can probably tell by the tone of the video already, it's not going to be a great race. I can't be arsed. I really can't be bothered. We've got cold front tyres, which is obviously great. Grosjean's going really slowly, and we've got no grip coming into this corner whatsoever. We're going to try and hold into the slipstream as best we can, and given how awful our power unit is, it's going to be difficult. But I'll tell you what, P6 and P7 are both racing points, which is absolutely insane. You can see we make a humongous error. We actually almost find some positions there. It's which is rather interesting. We have to give them back, of course. We're not gonna keep them and get a penalty for ourselves, but we ran completely wide just due to loss of grip, and we actually ended up making a massive move. We're going to go down the inside of Grosjean, get our elbows out quite a bit, but he's actually going to hold it there, which quite surprised me with Grosjean. We're going to go side by side through here, which is fair play racing. He's going to hold it down our inside. We're going to go the long way around, get the better exit, of course, as we get a better run out of the final corner as we come up the hill, which is obviously handy to us, but he's going to get our slipstream with the power unit in that car of the Ferrari, so I'll be right up against our gearbox. We're in rich mode and high, and we hold him off, but we just don't have the horsepower to get up the hill here in Brazil and actually make a fight for it. But Lucas Weber is the next car. If we can actually get past Lucas, that would be quite fun, to say the least. We've got our teammate Albon ahead of him, so hopefully he can hold us up. We've got a bit on the grass, so that's going to compromise our exit all the way up here, and we will get DRS, which is obviously a plus, but obviously the cars ahead of us will also get DRS. I think up until the Williams, I think the Williams are the first cars that won't get DRS. But all the way down into turn 1, there's not really much going on, you know, that forward. We haven't made much progress. We started P20, well, we started P18 and we're only P17, but we obviously went back to the grid, the very back of the grid because of our awful start. But Lucas Weber can't get past our teammate, which is good for us, showing that our engine deficit isn't as good as probably was in the previous race. But Weber still trying to get past. You know, he's probably our benchmark in terms of rivals because of how well he's performed this season. He's exceeded expectations for a lot of people, especially myself. I didn't think he'd really be anywhere. Devin Butler's done pretty well, of course, but he's not been as good as Weber, whether that's just down to the car or, you know, it'd be interesting to see what they do if they're in the same car. And same with ourselves, how we perform if we're in the same car. At this point of the season, I do believe the Alfa Romeo is probably the 4th fastest car if not probably joint third with Red Bull, but if not second, given the the last couple of races he's been absolutely on a madness. But nonetheless, we're going to try and catch up to Weber as best we can. There's just not a lot happening in this race for ourselves, and I'm pretty sure all the cars ahead of us are probably feeling the same thing. I haven't seen any movements here on the mini-map. See, Lucas Faber's probably having a look at move now at, I believe, Albon. Albon was trying to fight Kubica. He ended up getting past, unfortunately. We're all over the road. We've got no grip. We're spending more time on the curbs and the AstroTurf than we are on the track because we just can't. We just can't drive this track. We really can't. It's really bad. Like, I'm just trying to think, like, from league racing experience, if I've had a good result. I don't think I've ever won here. Maybe I might have had a win, but I can't remember it specifically. I remember plenty of times where it's just gone awful, really, really badly. But it is what it is. I can't do much. You can see on the following lap, we're still behind Albon. We're not really doing much. We're just trundling along, trying to keep Grosjean away from us. But at this point, our tyres are starting to give up. Because I don't know why we started on the super softs, which wasn't a great idea. We should have gone a little bit longer, possibly. It's not like we gained an advantage off the start line, you know what I mean? We ended up going backwards anyway, so probably get a long first stint in probably would have been the ideal situation. But lap 5, just about getting DRS, but Grosjean is going to be the one to try and make a move on us here. He's been patiently waiting after we gave him a little barge earlier, so Grosjean might fancy move into turn 1. Maybe not. He didn't look like he was going to, but we get a little bit sideways on the exit as our tyres do start to just fall off. They just start to die a little bit, which obviously isn't great for us. But Grosjean, he's got a little bit of company behind him, I believe, of I think it might be Norris. In fact, he's the one that has to give him a little bit of hassle. And I believe Magnussen's our last guy in the place. We've got a yellow flag in the sector just ahead of us. I'm not sure what's happened here, to be honest with you. There's a little cluster of cars. There's a car going slow. And that was Ricciardo. Unfortunately, Ricciardo had a pretty good race out last for the most part, and then obviously didn't end up making points. So we move up a position, not through our own skill, but just through a DNF of another car. I believe the racing points, one of them still ahead of the Hulkenberg, just ahead. You can see, look at that, we're all over the road, all over the steering lock. We're literally just squirming, trying to get traction out of these corners. I don't believe our setup was great over the practice period. As you can see this by going incredibly wide and missing the apex, which is going to give Grosjean potentially an opportunity to make our life even worse at this Grand Prix. We get DRS on our teammate, but he's obviously so far up the road, getting a double slipstream. Grosjean this time is going to make a move. He's going to maybe go to our inside, but no, he doesn't. The following lap, it looks like he's going to. So Grosjean is going to maybe make a move down our inside here. Here we go, into turn 1. We're going to hold it around the outside as best we can. We lock up, we collide a little bit. We're sideways, we're stuck on him, we bang again. We're going into the wall, and that's it. Lovely, perfect. Thank you very much.
Let me know you're all right.
I don't think I can blame Grosjean for that one, if I'm honest with you. You can see we go side by side into turn 1. We get stuck on each other here. I lose the back end, and then obviously he turns left while I'm turning right to counter steer, and he just drives us into the wall. And that part, he can be at fault. He just turned left, and obviously as I was stuck on him, I went left. So that's great. You know what? Fantastic. That's the best race of the season so far as I'm concerned. Oh, look at that. Hamilton won as well. It just gets better and better, doesn't it? It really does. Like, I'm just not in the mood for this race. I just get rid of it off the calendar, please. I can't stand it. I know it's a favourite with most drivers and, fans, and I just can't stand it. I really can't. Leclerc finishes P5 as ever, so happy days for Mr. Charles Leclerc, but it's just one of those, I just can't stand it. I don't know where Kvyat went. Kvyat just evaporated by the looks of it. Verstappen and Vettel also on the podium. The tone of this video has just been all over the place. I just can't be asked. I really can't be bothered. Like, if I'm racing for a championship in the next season, and it comes down to the final 2 races, best believe I'm losing. I better have a 25-point gap, or I'm going to end up losing my championship at Brazil because I can't stand it, which will make me hate Brazil even more. I can't get on with it. we just don't get on. Albon P13, Kvyat P9, which is awful for him, but that's been it for this video, guys. Sorry it's been a miserable one. It's the miserable Grand Prix. What do you expect? And one more race to go, Abu Dhabi, and I'm praying I get a better race as our reputation goes down. Oh, look at that. Nearly all the way down to rookie. What a liberty. But that's been it for me for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed. Next video will have a better tone, I promise. Until then, guys, take care. Bye-bye.